There you are. How is everyone? Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you all hear me? If you could please give me a thumbs up, let me know that you can hear me and we will get this party going. You know what? This is kind of weird. Normally, if you guys notice, I don't wear a beanie to my own life coaching, but it is just so cold in Seattle where it leaves me no options. Even with all the heat turned on, it's still not working for me. So thank you very much, everyone, for being here and being very patient while I have everything set up. This is actually not my first cup of coffee. This is probably my third since this afternoon. Hello, Miss Mountain Dew, Bear in the Wild. Good to see you again. Andrea, how are you from Mexico? Please do let me know where you are tuning in from if this is your first time. And if you would like for me to answer any of your questions at all, remember, I'm not just an Amazon coach, I'm a career coach for you. Every Tuesday and Friday as well now, okay, guys? Make sure you let me know a little tiny bit about yourself, what position you're interviewing for, what team or level, if within Amazon. You guys will know that this is an extremely Amazonian or Amazon friendly channel. I get very excited if you guys notice if anyone at all asks me questions outside of Amazon. I actually receive private messages asking me if I can share with them tips in general, even startups. So I get very excited. Now, guys, before we start, I must say that I do love receiving messages from all of you guys. But if you want me to give you tips or any last minute feedback or anything like that, please do save all of it for the Tuesday. This is free for you guys, or Wednesday as a pay YouTube community member, which is extremely less cost efficient. Efficient? I can't even talk right now. Where's my coffee? Anyways, $3.99 to start, okay? And you can join my live stream, all my live stream, and I'm doing it because we're still in the middle of the pandemic, and I want it to help you get your feedback in the door. I just don't want to. This is going to come off a little rude, guys. I can't spend the entire day responding to each and every single private messages to provide you with tips and best strategies when they're all here in my live stream, okay? Because truthfully, for those who's been following me for a while, I've been doing this since the starting of the pandemic, April of 2020 of this year. And since then, there's at the bare minimum 5 to even 10 people every week to announce that they receive a job offer from Amazon, simply showing up like this every single week, okay? So I would love to see your familiar faces every single week. So for now, I wanted to make sure my audio is actually functioning well. London Lido, I was getting a little worried here because generally you are the first person that shows up. Thumbs up and high five. Oh, thanks, Bear in the Wild. I'm looking at TrueScreen just to make sure that there's no lag. I'm very excited because I have fixed a couple of things. Putting my techie hat on. Great. Everyone can hear me. Okay. If you all are here and this is your first time, welcome. My name is Holly Lee. I am a career coach. My passion, what truly brings me joy, is to be here coaching you guys every single week. Also, I am the founder of my Career Accelerator Masterclass, as well as the Star Interview Accelerator, which is brand spanking new. I had a very good pre-launch, which is literally last week. But if you're interested in that, the class is full and I will have another launch in January. Okay. So if you're interested in my Star Interview Accelerator, it's very Amazonian focused, by the way. And I can explain why. For those who have known me pretty well now, you guys know I'm going to start talking about the STAR method very soon here, like now, okay? If you saw the headline of today's topic, it is why Amazon around the leadership principle. Guys, there are so many of you guys who's asking me questions about how many questions should I create around the LP or leadership principle. I'm really struggling with how to answer why Amazon. That's probably the biggest volume of questions that I have received across all of my platform and social network. Okay. It was to the point where I literally created a video called Why Amazon. If you missed it, I even feature that in my main YouTube channel. Go watch that before you and I see you, have a conversation. Okay. Everything that I'm sharing with you all is based on my personal experience. I have been at Amazon for over 6+ years. I have worked for consumer electronic, Kindle, Alexa, consumer as well. Okay. So please do take it as a grain of salt. I did not invent the STAR method, but I did invented the course program that I am a coach of into transforming it simplistic way of the Holly Lee style and getting it to the point. Okay. I'm here to answer all of your questions and helping you land a position by using the Amazon leadership principle in getting offers from Apple, from Google, from Facebook, startup, whatever's to your pleasing. Okay. How do I know this has worked, professionals? Because a lot of my clients, this is really exciting news, by the way. Can I get an amen? Woo! Last week, true story. Last week, there are 5 community members in my VIP who accepted a job offer. Out of those 5, 3 of them landed an offer at Amazon. Out of those 3, one of them was a level 7 engineering leader, a level 6 program manager, and a level 5 account manager. And the other 2, one of them is a principal for a smaller brand name company, no name. Okay. Well, I wouldn't say smaller. It's actually a very big player, and I wanted to keep this. Oh, what on earth? It's Oracle. Okay. I was able to hire a solution architect, a principal solution architect for Oracle. So, guys, again, I'm not just an Amazon coach, but I will teach you every single thing I know, everything that I've taught in my time at Amazon, because the method works. A lot of you are asking me, and I'm beginning to get a lot of spam on my YouTube channel. Okay. Thank you, spammer. We call them internet trolls. I'm passionate about Amazon, not because it is the best company that had treated me with my perks and all the stuff like the Google and Amazon of the world. Everyone knows this. There's no joke. Okay. You get spoiled run when you go to companies like a Google or a Facebook. Why I'm so passionate about Amazon is because of the amount of details going into the interview process. All of you guys who are interviewing right now, because Amazon has done something right. Their interview loop at the bare minimum are trained, especially the bar raiser program. And I've seen so many startups. I mean, let's just say of a lot of the startup that I was a principal consultant prior to the pandemic, prior to losing all of my corporate account as well. Yes, I too am affected. Okay. And they're all using their own Ranger program, or I don't know what they call it, but it's a bar raiser program. So a lot of the mid-sized startup, pre-IPO, IPO startup are using the bar raiser program. A lot of the big companies are starting to have a person outside of the organization to interview you in the Amazon standard. It's called bar raiser. Okay. So the fundamental behind that, it's all the same, guys. Okay. If you're interviewing at Google, if you're interviewing at Apple, it doesn't matter who you're interviewing with. A lot of the behavioral questions are very, very similar because my VIP member and community coaching platforms actually tell me, because they're already at the Google right now and the Apple right now. And they told me that the interviewed, sorry, I got really excited. Can you guys tell that? They told me that the type of questions that are being asked are exactly the same thing. Okay. So I would ask for you to pay very close attention. I would ask if you're shy, you're sitting behind. Let's take a look here. There are about 40 of you guys watching right now with a 17 thumbs up. Please do help me out here. I love coming here. I love streaming for you guys. You're helping my channel survive. If you, I don't know why, but YouTube love the thumbs up emoji on my channel as well as on the live stream. Okay. And a lot of you are not subscriber. That's crazy. 97% of you guys who's watching right now are not subscriber. All you have to do is very simple. You hit the thumbs up and then you go hit the subscribe button and then you hit the bell notification. So when I do stream every week for you, not me, but YouTube will send you a notification. Okay, that's really all it is. I promise you, I'm not one to spam you. Most of you will hear from you once a week just to remind you of the topic that I'll be talking about. Okay, so I don't even have to talk to you about the leadership principle because somebody is going to ask. So rather than me doing so, I would rather cut right into the meat. Bear in the Wild, hello, Andrea. Andrea from Mexico. I wanted to let you know, thank you and your view. Oh, you got an offer! Woo! Wait, hang on. Woo! Woo! You see what I'm saying? Every single week, guys, it never fails. Even on my Friday stream, which I literally just started last Friday, somebody's going to show up and tell me that they have received a job offer. Thank you so much, Andrea. You don't have to do it, but I really appreciate it because when members come in and they make an announcement, I know that it pumped everybody else up. I know it gives you hope. Okay. And if we are not connected on LinkedIn, Andrea, I have a private Facebook group for all of those in my coaching platform and community members who landed an offer at Amazon. And the intent is just really for all of you guys to collaborate because as a new big fish in a small pond, I think that's the right word to use. It's nice to leverage or connect with peer set or people you know who are going through the exact same experiences that you have so you can help one another. There will come a time, guys, either Amazon or whatever company that may be, you will go through the hump of lacking career growth, not knowing how to move from A to Z, or having some type of workplace challenges. So it's really awesome to have a group of people who are already in the same community. And that's why I built my community so specifically. Okay. Thank you so much, Andrea. Very happy for you, my friend. Steen, star. Thank you so much for my star. I don't even have to ask you guys. You're giving, do I have any more stars? Love the thumbs up. I love thumbs up just as much as the star, by the way. Hungry for employment. You are definitely hungry, my friend. You have been here every single week for the last 2 months, and I really appreciate you just for hanging out with us. Okay. So, for your questions, do me a big favor, put a Q in front of your questions. For today's purposes, I would love if you guys would drop it in the bottom. I want to be able to give you guys feedback as to why Amazon. If not Amazon, it's all good, guys. Why ABC company? You don't even have to tell me what company you're interviewing for, but if great if you do, so I can give you relevant answer. The odds are, if it's any of the technology company, my whole entire background of over the last 2 decades has been in tech. So I am fairly well-rounded and I can speak to a lot of the different language and tech environment. So let me know why Amazon, why Google, why Apple, why startup, basically why. Drop down how you would present yourself. And I want to take the opportunity to go in there and fix it for you. Let's have some fun today. Cheers. Mm. Oh my God, coffee. I could not. This is just really cheap Costco Kirkland coffee, but it is amazing. You add a little bit of Asian condensed milk in there. If you know what I'm talking about, just like a 1 teaspoon, it is perfect. And Starbucks coffee or coffee that you would pay $8, $10 for. I'm just saying. Okay, I have some questions here. Bear in the Wild says, "What was the number one thing you did that helped? I keep freaking out in the mid interview. I'm not good over the phone or Zoom." So I think what Bear in the Wild says is, for those of you who have already landed a job offer, I know a few of you. I see you coming in here. do share your experiences. I really want the community to help each other, to share your learning, what has worked, what hasn't worked. Also, I know that most of you, if not all of you, who have received an Amazon job offer have watched most or all of my Amazon Leadership Principle playlists and have done all the work. I'll show you guys an example in a second. Um, the best thing I can tell you is I don't know if you'll ever not be nervous, guys. And I talked about this in the last live stream where even coming to stream, from the moment the camera stopped rolling, I get it. I know it's very awkward. You're staring at the screen. You don't even, when you're looking at the camera, you're not even, you're finding where the interviewers are or is. I get it. But the only thing I can tell you is when you practice and keep on recording yourself via Zoom at the bare minimum 20 times until you can tell yourself that you memorize your story to the point where you can reword it 5, 10 different style. That's how you know you're going to land an offer. Okay. I haven't seen all of your stories, so I can't really give you any more tip beyond that. But the more you practice, if you're nervous with the camera, that's fine. Go on your phone. I talked about this so often, guys. If you're chilling at home somewhere in your office, hiding somewhere, watching my live stream, I love that you're hanging out with me. But I would love it more, guys, if you're actually doing every single thing I'm telling you to do. And let me show you guys an example because this is the right time. Last week, one of my VIP member, which is my group coaching community, um, have landed an offer, and I asked for permission, of course, and see if I could share all the work that I have asked my folks to do. And guys, everything that I am sharing in my coaching community, there's nothing different that I'm not sharing with you guys, okay? You're not paying me to share something different. Really, the main difference is to have me as your coach with daily review, and we have mock interview twice a week. And it's more personable and intimate because I know everything about your background and can help you reach a result a lot quicker. But check this out, okay? Oh, what happened? For some reason, oh no. Guys, it is not working right now, but what I'm really trying to show you is an example. That is really weird. Hang on. I'm very, very stubborn. I wanted to make sure that I am able to share an awesome documentation where one of my VIP member actually wrote out every single story, Sky, handwritten. This person handwritten every single story as well as tying it into the LPs. This person even put graphs for technical folks of her entire design. So that is I can't even ask for any more for somebody who follow my instruction to a T. And because I don't have that, it is right here. You guys ready for this? There you go. Okay. I know I have it somewhere. So let me make it bigger. You guys saw this? This is magic right here. There's no anything that this person has done that I haven't told you guys, right? And I have mentioned it over and over and over again in almost every single live stream, guys. When you start handwriting things, it will come here right into your brain so much faster. And when you start hitting the record button at least 10 times, not 2 times, 10 times, and then you go to Zoom, so you're less nervous and you're also saving yourself time. But I guarantee you guys, even my very first horrific video, which I had no clue how to record, by the way. It's called the 60-second elevator pitch. I just came up with it, to be honest. And really thinking back now, I should not have done a 60-second. I should probably have done a 30 to 45-second because it is a long time. If someone talks for a full hour and the things that you're saying are not relevant, you're going to fall asleep as the interviewer or the recruiter even, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and X out on that. The document that I just show you, a bunch of paper, that's what it takes to land a job at an Amazon, guys. If you use the same process for Amazon, even if you're not interviewing at Amazon, just try it out. Practice. The strategies that I'm sharing with you are going to land you a job offer regardless of what company you're interviewing for, okay? And that's why I'm showing you what I just did. Tanya, how are you? Ashley, hello. Charles, and thank you for being my subscriber. A lot of you guys are subscriber to my business website, which I will be getting rid of it. It's halsley.com. By the way, I have moved, and my branding team, branding and marketing team have done an excellent job. Where I am beginning to talk a little bit more about me, about what I do, about my VIP or my master course, any of that stuff to make it easier so I don't have to spend my time in answering a lot of the questions. That's already on my new home, which is website. It's hollylee.co. The link will be on every single one of my video about now. Okay, so if you are subscribed to my old website, please do follow me to my new home so you don't miss my upcoming free webinars. And I'm going to be doing a lot of blogs. If you guys haven't noticed, I just made a post on LinkedIn where I went back to my video and drag out a lot of the content. By the way, when I say blog, if blog to me means spending the time in writing content that you care about, that you're going to read. If not, why am I doing it? Right? In this case, is why Amazon is this week's topic. There's a video in there as well as words for you to follow for those who may not want to hear me or my voice and just want to read. It's all there. Okay. If you go into my business page, there's a couple block on there that's going to help you in this season. And guys, I know that the holidays are around the corner, literally next week, but a lot of the companies are not going through pauses right now. Sure, some are, like the rest of the year, even summertime. Not every single company are going to have open position. I am asking you to stop being freaked out about pushing your interview date at Amazon because you're not ready. Push it out. Guess what? When December comes around, they're going to have a huge budget to fill whatever they need to fill in Q1 and Q2, which is January all the way until the summer. Okay. So don't be afraid. Guys, do not be afraid. Don't say I didn't tell you so. I'm saying this with a lot of love. Okay. My VIP member or in any of my coaching platform who landed an offer, the ones who listened to me and push out their date, all of those, by the way, land an offer in less than 1 month. I am not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. 8 to 10 people, I probably should count more, but I just don't have time to count. But there's quite a few of them. When they come to me, and if you guys, even with you guys in this live stream, are following everything that I say to a T, you're gonna get an offer. Okay. I'm not saying I will guarantee that you're going to walk away from an Amazon interview without even looking at your credential or working with you. Even so, you need to put in the hard work. It's like a ping pong conversation, right, guys? You need to do the hard work, and I will meet you halfway by being your virtual coach like this and pumping out content that you care about. That's why I want you, a lot of you who are hiding in the background right now, double the amount of number who's giving me a thumbs up. I want to encourage you to be brave. Use me as your guinea pig because you're not going to get the job if I say incline or not. But my job is to read over how you phrase why Amazon and correct that for you. Okay? Raphael Lima. Hello, Raphael. Data Crazy. How are you, Data Crazy? Iman, how are you? I know, thank you. I'm really rocking the beanie because it is so cold. Vishal, I tend to lose my calm and get nervous during the interview. It's okay. I talked about being nervous every time I come onto the live stream. It's okay to be nervous. What had calmed me down like this, I'm no longer nervous, by the way. From the moment I start speaking, my comfort sets in is because I know my content and I have that background as a coach. And I know how to interview, train, or just people development extremely well because that's been my entire career. So you need to find out for sure what is your niche, okay? What are some of the key points that would make you stand out in front of the interviewer that you're going to go in there and you're going to own that interview and you will end up getting an offer. So you need to ask yourself as you are practicing, right? Over and over again until you get to that comfort zone. These live streaming guys, it took me almost an entire year just to get here. I get so many people who are yelling at me to edit my video and all that. I'm like, guys, I don't have time to do all that. I just don't. Okay. And now I'm debating whether I should remove my previous stream, which is not that great as far as audio and video production quality and whatnot. I don't. Okay. I don't, because when I look back in my mistakes, it's allowing me to see the growth that I have become today. So for all of you guys who are anxious about your Amazon job interview, please do the same thing. When you start recording and practice again and again and again, remake your story. How else can you do to stay even more concise, even diving deeper, but concise? We talk about the rule of thumb where you're not going to speak more than 45 to 1 minute. 1 minute is a very long time. So I highly advise that you stick with 30 seconds to 45 minutes. And I have given so many examples, okay, in the past before where even I talked about, look at this template. This is the most innovative thing that I've done. I can do all of this in 30 seconds because I know my story so well. And if I repeat myself, I could repeat it into 5 different ways where I'm not even reading the words. Okay. That's an example I wanted to show you. I have examples all day long, guys. What's in your mind? I have an example for your weaknesses, your career failure. And so that's this one, invent and simplify, right? In this one's particularly, I actually walk you through in how you can use and recycle the same story without sounding like you are recycling your story. Okay? I know someone's going to ask me, and that's why I've decided to go there. Serge from France. I wish I was in France. How are you, Serge? Ashley, hello, first time. Welcome from UK. Good evening to you. DC, another one from the UK. Of course, London leader is absolutely from UK. Thank you, guys. If for those who are from UK, I actually have you in mind for the European audience or my supporter, my YouTube supporter. The Friday stream starts at 9:30 a.m., which is early evening for you. I know that it's getting pretty late right now for you. Okay. DCE says should be having a data center on-site interview awaiting feedback. Awesome. Fingers crossed for you, okay? Bear in the while. Any tips for approaching networking with Microsoft recruiters? I have an application that has been under review for 2 weeks. That's an excellent question. I'm so glad you asked. Well, first of all, let me make this shorter so I don't cover my face. Here you go. Excellent questions. So Amazon or not, it's really the same thing. That's why I love using to talk about Amazon so much as a guinea pig, because if you can master everything I'm teaching you guys, you can get a job in any employer, okay? First, if you missed my previous live stream, you want to network with the hiring managers, not the recruiters, okay? You want to reach out to potential hiring leaders. For example, forgive me, Bear in the Wild, you're so wild, I can't remember what position you're interviewing for. Assuming that you are a software engineer, I'm completely making this up, okay? You want to reach out to a lot of the senior engineering manager or engineering man, depending on your level. I would reach out to folks who are level 1 or 2 above you and look at the org that you're interested in. For example, if it's Microsoft, what product are you interested in? Is it Windows? Is it network infrastructure? Is it cloud? What team or org rock your boat during the while? Then I would simply do a search. Let's just say Microsoft Windows. Okay, hypothetically speaking, I would simply go to LinkedIn and do a quick search to see who are all the engineering manager or GM for Microsoft Windows, and I will reach out to them. For more information on my networking strategy, there is a video on there, guys. It's called Networking. You can't miss it. It's called networking. If you go to my homepage, if you go to the networking tab, it says networking, right? If you go to networking tab or playlist, I will do it. The reason why I don't have too many video about networking is because nobody's watching it. Guys, you guys are killing me here. I have so many people who's asking me the same questions. How do I use LinkedIn? How do I make my profile better? How do I network with recruiters? I'm like, all this stuff. And every single time when I pumped up content about networking, how you should expand your network with the right decision maker and not just a recruiter, no one's watching it. And because no one is watching it, I stopped making them. Okay. If you guys, by a show of hand, say yes, if you are interested in me to walk you through a tutorial this Friday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in you using your position title and your location and how I can walk you through in networking with the appropriate individual, I'm more than happy to do so. But you have to be a paying member in any of my tier, and it's fairly inexpensive. Okay. If you want me to do tutorial, you have to let me know in advance and you have to show up and actually do it on your own. Okay. Enough said about networking. You guys know how I feel. Yes, you need to trust yourself. By the way, Andrea, I'm really loving that you're rocking your hoodie. I'm a huge hoodie beanie person. One of my VIP member said in my group coaching when I was asking everyone, I said, "Who here found me on YouTube?" And of course, everybody raised their hand up, right? And I said, "What attracted you to me as your coach? What made me stood out for you?" And one of them says, "Holly, you don't have." What did she said? She says, "Holly, your production quality, ugh, it's not all there. I don't care how you dress. I don't care how you look, but you have the best content." I'm like, cool. All right. That's awesome. You see what I'm saying, guys? It's not about so much hiding your nervousness, but it has a lot to do with knowing yourself and your experience when you're interviewing. Julia, how are you? I have an HR interview tomorrow for an L6 marketing manager position. Why is this so big? For L6 marketing manager, I have 6 years of B2C is business to consumer marketing experience. I'm assuming this position is for the consumer retail org. What kind of questions should I expect tomorrow? Tomorrow, guys, it doesn't matter. I talked about this so many times. You can be marketing, HR, recruiting, leader, cloud infrastructure, architect. It doesn't matter. It's all the same leadership principle. I'm sorry, not leadership principle. It's all the same behavioral questions. I talk so much about taking a look at my top 15 plus behavioral questions and only focusing on that part. If you can answer those, you're going to most likely get the job offer. Okay. For example, rather than tearing your marketing background in pieces, let me ask you this: what is the largest amount of budget that that you had to execute as a marketing leader? Julia. That's an actual interview question. Depending on how you are answering, it's allowing me to create 3 to even 5 probing questions to continue asking you, right? So rather than me saying, by the way, tell me about your marketing background. Tell me about the biggest hiccup that you're able to overcome as a marketing leader. So rather than just using the industry terminology or all of that, I'm basically just asking you. Another example would be, tell me about a time where you don't agree with your customer. And by the way, who are your customers in a B2C marketplace? Right? I would ask you that as an interviewer. All right. You see where I'm going? The type of interview that Amazon and all the company are asking you, they're all the same, guys. Check out my playlist. Okay. Talking about playlists, I have, it's really, really weird. I have something for you guys and it's not showing up, but that is okay. It's not important at the moment. If you guys go to my playlist, you'll see the Amazon Star interview. Highly recommend that with example in writing your story. But my favorite is the Amazon Leadership Principle questions and examples. Basically, everything that has the word examples or answer to it, you have to watch it. If you don't know the leadership principle, you're not going to make it through. Okay, I speak my piece. DCE says, when I answer the leadership principle, shall I explicitly mention them? No, do not mention them. Do not mention. No, don't do that. Just be natural, okay? Nobody wants you to throw their company's philosophy or core value at them. So rather than just saying, my great customer service help earn trust, no, just simply just say, let me give you an example of a time where I was able to influence my stakeholder. Or let me give you an example of a time how I was able to earn my customer's business by, you see where I'm going? I didn't say earn trust. Don't be that obvious that you are aiming at them. I'm not saying this the wrong way, and please don't take it any way wrong. My job is to help and coach you. If you are using every single core value of a company or to that interviewer, it almost appears like you're ass kissing, and nobody wants that. Okay. And that is as raw and authentic I can give you. So you want to be yourself and you want to have a conversation, an intelligent conversation where you're sharing your background without telling them what is the obvious. And which is why you need to check out my Why Amazon. Everybody who's interviewing, by a show of hands, say yes if you have seen my Why Amazon video. That is like the key, most important thing to tell you what not to say. And I actually talked about what not to use and not to mention the leadership principle. Hello, Deepak. How are you? Sin, how are you? Malvika, I have an interview for an MBA program tomorrow. Any specific LP you think I should focus on, which is all of them. All of you guys who's interviewing on Amazon, you need to know all of them. There's not a single one that's more important than the other, because if you don't have the ability to think about the customer in back of your mind, you won't be able to have the bias for action in order to dive deep and think big while you deliver result. And if you don't deliver result, your ability to earn trust is really slim. And if you're able to do all of the above, most likely you can handle a fast-paced environment by demonstrating having backbone and insist on higher standard with the bar being high. You guys see where I'm going? No. Although I live in Seattle, I've been living in Seattle for quite a while. I love Seattle. I would consider Seattle my home more than California these days, because I've been adapt to the rain and the weather and actually really enjoy the calm weather. But go 49ers! We're not doing well this season. So this is the last couple season or year, but go 49er. Can we please say go Niner on the chat below? If you all want me to answer your questions quicker, just say go 49er hashtag. I'm not kidding. Charles, hello Charles. Charles says, I read that working 50 hours a week as a solution architect is low. Hang on. Let me just calm down for a second. And the normal working week is 70 hours or more. Do you know if that is true? Listen, my friend Charles, again, everything that I'm sharing with you is based on my experience. I don't ever recall working 40 hours a week at Amazon, ever. Even after being with an organization for quite a number of years, I would say my low average, I'm lucky to get probably about 60 hours a week. In general, is roughly about 70 hours, sounds about right. Okay. Now, one thing to keep in mind is you are working for the fastest moving company in the world, correct? You are working for an organization who pumped out new products and services, by the way, all at the same time. Well, you're talking about hardware, software, embedded, and cloud, B2B and B2C, all at the same time and worldwide. So this is not an 8-hour-a-day job. I don't know anyone at all. Maybe if they're hourly worker, they're warehouse associates or in the call center. I don't know. I have no visibility in that environment. But again, everybody, listen very carefully, okay? I'm not saying this because of anything else but my personal experience. No one asked me to work hard. Nobody asked me to work more than 40 hours a week. I can simply just work 40 hours a week and do my thing. But Amazon is an environment where I was already a highly driven person, but it took my self-motivation to a whole new level. Because why would I want to stop? Because I saw so many opportunity for me to expand my scope internationally right off the bat. I saw an opportunity for me to build multiple team and products for across a bunch of different categories. At one point, I was building team for 14 different businesses within consumer. True story, guys, within consumer hardline. At one point, I had all of them because I am someone who is very thirsty and I enjoy. I know it sounds really bad. I enjoy working hard. That's just who I am. Now I'm still working hard, but I am able to have the freedom to do whatever I want as a business owner. And I have my son. And that's a path that I chose. I'm still working hard in different way. Okay. Again, for all of you guys, if you're interested in the Amazon environment, once you have that on your resume for at least, I would say 2+ years, if you haven't been with any company for at least 2+ years, your ability to really build things from ground up and not just having it go to market, but what is the revenue of going up and down like this and how do you fix it? Okay. So scalability is huge for top tier tech companies. They love seeing credentials where you have been with an organization for at least a couple years or so, demonstrating that you have actually built things, owned things, drive things for more than a hot second. That is the best tip that I can give you guys. Again, Amazon or Google or Apple is not the right fit for just anyone. Even for me, I'm a coach. Yes, I have my VIP. Yes, I have my coaching program. But even so, I have asked my members that I don't think this is the right fit for our relationship and I would exit the relationship. Okay? Companies are the same way. You have to find what is the right fit for you. And what I would encourage all of you guys to do, that is why the why Amazon is so important. Why? Why do you want to work for Amazon? Is it for the money? Okay, you're going after the wrong company if you're going for the money, okay? You need to join an organization much more than just the money because I guarantee you you're focusing on the wrong thing. That's just my take for you. So you have to list out what's next. What do you want to? If you're looking for career growth and you want to work 8 hours a week, if you can find that, you give me a call. Okay, you reach out to me on LinkedIn if you find a job like that. Carry on. I'm saying with love, Charles, because I care about you. Data, my technical interview for solution architect position, London in 2 days. I have 5 years of experience in analytics and consultant, any specific LP, which is all of the LP. And guys, the last three solution architect, actually four. One of them was a level 7, two of them is a level 6, one of them is level 5, all end up at Amazon right now. Two of them are waiting for their start date. But the reason why I want to share the story about solution architect is they came from a consultancy background, like a Deloitte or an AT&T. Okay, so if you guys think that you can't get a job with big companies because you don't have the brand name, I can prove you wrong. You just need to work hard. Anju, hello, Anju. Hello, Matt. From Seattle. Yay, another hey, hey, Enlu. Enlu, what happened to your little what do you guys call that? The little tool icon as my content manager. It's gone. We'll fix that. Abhishek, hello to you. Okay, Data, your question is okay, guys, if you guys want to ask me a questions, please do not repeat your questions. If you want me to ask your questions right away, you have to be a paid YouTube community or super chat because if you repeat your question, number one, it confuses me, and two, you're spamming everyone else who is here. Okay? Altav, I literally just responded to your LinkedIn message. Thank you for reaching out. Why Amazon similar to what you would say in a cover letter? No, 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 no. It's completely different. Why Amazon is just getting to the point, preferably doing it in 15, 20 seconds. Just get to the point with a couple sentences, highlighting why the employer or any employer should hire you. Basically, what have you done and what was your result and why are you choosing that team? Okay, I don't talk about cover letter at all in basically anything, not even in my program, guys, because companies don't really look at cover letter. They haven't been for the last 20+ years that I've been in recruiting. Even more so now, they barely have the bandwidth to call candidates back, so they're not going to just look at your cover letter. If you guys are applying to job and a company's asking you to attach a cover letter, I guess you should type something in there, but don't focus all of your energy in that. And if you guys are interested, I'm pretty sure there are coaches who focuses on resume and cover letter all over YouTube as well for you. I just don't really enjoy talking about that. Thank you for the star, Abhishek. Diane, how are you? Welcome back. Would you tell how is the product manager interview in Amazon and Facebook? How are they different? That's an excellent question. Let me move it here. Well, first of all, what I can tell you is that the time that I was at Facebook, I don't recruit a non-tech position like I have at Amazon where I did everything. Let's start with Amazon. Let's wait, I shouldn't say that. Let's start with what they have in common. If you are interviewing for any product focused role, Diane and everyone else who is a product person, you need to have a lot of stories with product executions, your product management life cycle, and how you are bringing a product to market. You must have it for any of these big companies, any. Okay. The difference between Amazon and Facebook, at Amazon, unlike a lot of companies where they're actually giving you the first 3 months to get ramp up, Amazon is more so the first 30 days, and within 3 months, you're really I'm not putting words in Amazon's mouth, but in every single team and every single org I have even transferred to, immediately you're working on your proposal to bring a product live. So 3 months period is when you actually build like a Kindle from scratch. True story, because holiday or not, they like to put things on a shelf 3 to 6 months very, very fast. So compare that to a Facebook, the timeline may be longer. Okay. I just know that at Amazon, things move extremely quick. And when you're working on something, you literally see it going live extremely quickly. And you're already thinking about a thousand step ahead of everything else and all the other companies in thinking about how you're going to generate revenue as a product is going into market and what type of integration you would need, what are the technical key partners you would need, so on and so forth. Okay. I feel like when it comes to tech, I can spend a full hour just talking about product management type role. Let me know if that have answered your questions. And also, Diane, a lot of this stuff is on Glassdoor. So I would encourage all of you guys to do your due diligence. I also have a video on this, guys. It's the power of LinkedIn, where I walk you through a couple tutorial on how to look for questions on Glassdoor. In fact, I stopped talking about Glassdoor since I have for the entire year. I'm taking a little break from Glassdoor. Ashley. Ashley says, I have 4 stories for the questions failure. What happens if each of the interviewer asks me why Amazon or what are your strengths? Should I keep this consistent to each interviewer? What do you mean by keep consistent? The one thing I would ask you guys to do is to never repeat the exact same story. There's always a way for you to twist that. I've also encouraged everyone to create 2 stories for each and every behavioral question, because there will come a time where you're going to meet an interviewer who is taking over someone else who's running late or can't make it, and they're not as prepared. Okay. So there are feedback from my community that they are being asked the same questions with multiple interviewer. So it's good for you to drag it out. For example, if you have more than 2 people who ask you the exact same questions, tell me about your career failure. After the first time you've done it and this is a second person who's asking you the same thing, don't be afraid, guys. All you have to do is, well, actually, John Doe just asked me that example. I have another example to share with you, or if you wanted to focus on a different question. Don't be afraid, guys. It's showing that you have backbone. It's showing that you are confident and you have more stories to share. If not, you're working so hard, right? You're working at least 2 months to prep for an Amazon job interview, and you have all the story and you're not even sharing it because you're literally repeating the 4 story with the 4 people who's asking you. That's an entire loop. You see where I'm going? Laura, how are you, Laura? Good seeing you. John O. And Lou says, who's waiting for her start date as an SDE. When I go blank after a question, really? You went blank? She's so smart. I can never tell if you draw a blank. I repeat it back out loud. Those few words really help. That's actually a very good tip, Anlu. And for the community as well. If you're drawing a blank, simply repeat it or ask clarifying questions while you're also buying time, right? And I've coached the community to just take a really deep breath and allow the interviewer to know that you are just putting in some thought to give relevant answer and just kind of carry on. One thing to avoid is the and then and just be be fumble around all over the place and not getting to the point. Okay? It's okay to just take a really deep breath. Um, just ask probing questions to buy time, or simply ask the interviewer to repeat him or herself. You're not just buying time, but you wanted to make sure that you are thinking through how you want to answer it. And if you're truly stuck, just work backward. Just think about what type of problem that you have solved and you're so proud of. Start from there. New one. Hi, new one. You sound new to my channel. Are you new? I've just finished the final round interview. Some of the interview give me the freedom to switch off the camera because they were typing notes. That's a horrible, horrible thing to do as an interviewer. Amazon. Yes, I'm calling you out, interviewer. Horrible. You do not ask the candidate to switch off, because when a candidate switch off, just imagine yourself physically interviewing in a room. Okay, let's just say I'm the candidate now, and I'm talking to you, and you're my interviewer. So you're doing tick 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 with the keyboard, and you're not looking at me at all. How do you know if I'm the right culture fit? How do you know if I'm even reading my notes? I mean, how do you know there's no connection and there's no relationship? Anyway, that's a horrible idea. I went speechless when you said that. And also, as a candidate, if I'm spending my time in interviewing at any company, I would expect you to give me the same level of respect that you're paying attention to me. That's just me. Rashika. Hello, Rashika. Nee, welcome from Germany in the house. There's a lot of European folks here. I love it. I was invited to the first round of interview at Amazon for a finance position in the SC org. What is the SC org, by the way, in Berlin? MLP. My interviewer, someone just gave me a thumbs down because they are probably an interviewer at Amazon. But oh well, such is life. My interviewer reached out to and scheduled for December 1st, but I will be out of town, so I asked her to reschedule, but she didn't reply to me. I follow up twice with no. You know, guys, it's okay to reschedule. Your recruiter is probably really busy. Okay. I mean, the holiday season has always been extremely busy for Amazon. I was just sharing this last week that on a normal day, a couple years ago, 2 years ago, when I was still there, I would have at least 300 email in my inbox every single day. Over the weekend, I would have literally 5+ hundred email. So if you guys could imagine, with the holidays coming up and now people are working from home, so they have more time to job search and reach out and whatnot. So it takes a lot for the recruiter to skim through all of the messages. I would kindly just follow up with them every 2 business days, because when it comes time to being in the active process already, you don't want to delay time, and simply just say, just say that you have a vacation plan ahead of time to reschedule. Okay. I would think that Amazon or any company is understandable in that nature. Vanderson. Hello, Vanderson. You welcome. Andrea says, whom landed a job offer earlier, wrote my stories, and that helped so much. And here's another one, guys. I'm telling you guys right now, I wanted to confidently say that about at least 80% of the folks who landed a job offer at Amazon write out, like handwritten out, the questions and answer. And they also write out what LP that is aligned with. Okay? It does. It helps you to memorize so that you are able to know what to say without looking at your notes. Okay? Your job is to not memorize every single thing you've written. Your job is to not memorize, but be so well thought of your experiences where it doesn't matter what the interviewer asks you, bar raiser, hiring manager, peers, doesn't matter who it is. You be able to take your questions in back of your, in back of your pocket and just give it to them. Okay? So that is the power of handwriting. It really stuck into memorization very quickly. Claire, how are you? Watching ironing in England. There's a lot of very England friendly in here. Thanks for coming by, guys. MLP says my interview reached out to the second in. I've asked, said this is what I mean. Please, guys, do not rewrite your things in here. Okay, do not do that. And my YouTube supporter, thank you so much for being here. Stacy, Jadish, thank you very much for being here. Vishal, hungry for employment, thank you very much. And I know I'm scrolling up and down. Laura, Diana, and thank you very much for just being here and supporting my work, guys. Adrian, John, thank you so much for the thumbs up. Oh, you got the offer! Yay! Congratulations, Adrian. Where are you dialing in from? And I know you've told me this before, but I just wanted to make sure that I remember, folks. Be sure to join my private Facebook Amazonian group, okay? It's going to help you when you get settled in your first 30, 60, 90 day. That's probably the hardest. Every time you change org or change team within Amazon, it's like starting with a new company all over again. Okay. So, guys, there is about 80% of you guys, 80 people who's watching with 46 thumbs up. Can a girl please get a thumbs up? Let me know you're still with me. Let me know you still have your coffee with me and continue shooting down your questions. I would really like to see in how you present yourself in why Amazon, if you must, because that is very important. That's like the one thing that will help you and help you to get the interviewer very excited to continue asking you the type of questions that they would. Okay. Oscar, hello. Visho, is there anyone looking for Zoom interview practice for process improvement role? Dun, dun, dun. And if you guys wanted to connect right on the chat, I am asking you guys to not put your email address on here on in public. There's a lot of you guys who like to do that and leaving comments in my YouTube channel. Please don't do that. I'm watching out for your best interest. There's a lot of bots here. Okay, what does that mean? That means a lot of people are going to spam you to death by using your contact information. And I wanted to make sure if you wanted to connect or network, you could first try to find them on LinkedIn and connect through that way. Okay. But in my VIP or any of my program, the whole purpose of the community is for people to align with each other to do mock interview. For this purposes, again, do not put your real contact information on here as it could get really tricky for you. Lena. Hello, Lena. Had my first phone screen today. Interviewer didn't give me any indication, good or bad. They usually don't, and that's okay. Should I expect some feedback? Well, you should follow up with the recruiter if you haven't heard back in a few days. Generally, it does take a few days or so. Okay. Hi, Zoe. Anlu, thank you so much. Anlu have kindly dropped my networking playlist right here. Again, no one really searches for LinkedIn or networking, but I have a whole playlist for you guys. Okay. And they're very, very short. Bear in the Wild. Sorry, Holly. I'll check your videos out next time before. No, it's okay. It's all good, buddy. Just make sure that you know it's there. Jagar, it's been a long time. Welcome back. And you know I'm a big fan of thumbs up and star and smiley faces. Hungry for employment. If you have any questions, especially being part of my community member, please do drop them on the bottom, okay? Oscar says, I don't do Facebook. I you on LinkedIn. I'm going to assume that everyone here is on LinkedIn, yeah? If you want to get a job with tech company, if you guys truly wanted to be found, if you don't have a LinkedIn, you better have a LinkedIn profile now. So go check out the power of LinkedIn and I will walk you through exactly how to create one to stand out, of course. Data, does every question needs to be answered using the STAR technique? That's a very good question. For all of the behavioral questions, yes, it depends, right? If the question is why Amazon, you don't need to use the star method. You could simply just give it 3 sentences. For instance, if someone is asking you, tell me about your weakness or your strength, you don't have to. I'm just really greedy. I would like to. Again, the purpose of the star method is to simplify your answer with relevancy. Okay. Everyone have their star method very differently. My style is to keep it from 30 to 45 seconds. So the weaknesses or strength, it's best that you give a specific example. Guys, if you don't provide specific example, it's very general. Nobody wants general. So the more specific you guys can provide the interviewer, the more thumbs up or brownie points you will get. It's allowing them to ask you more relevant probing question rather than not knowing what to ask you next. You see where I'm going? Abhishek says, should my story be based directly on behavioral questions or LP? Could there be many behavioral questions? A lot of the behavioral question, as mentioned, it's all the same. Even if someone is asking if you are, for instance, a program manager, even if they want to learn more about your program management background, they don't have to ask, tell me about your program management background. They simply could just say, tell me a time you have invented a program resulting in efficiency of your team or generating revenue for your customer or stakeholders, something along that line. Okay, so to answer your questions, everything of your story is directly based on behavioral questions. If you are a technical professional, 20% of those are going to be tech. It hasn't changed from the time that I was at Amazon. At least that's what a lot of my technical professionals clients have told me. And I'm talking about the solution architect, the engineering leader, the SDEs, so on and so forth. Talan, how are you? Katie, how are you? Malvika, hello, Malvika. That's a really good profile. When it comes to LinkedIn profile, check this out. That's a really nice photo for your LinkedIn. Yay, go 49er. Wait, where is it at? Yay, go Niner. We're not doing well, but that's besides the point. Yay, I'm just happy. I'm just a happy camper for the most part every time that I coach. Dunny says, I had my Amazon interview today. Fingers crossed for you. I feel like I was rambling in circle. If you feel like you're rambling, that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. You got to hit the record button, my friend, okay? Playlist. It's all about my playlist. Go after that. Matt, no way. Did I see a Go Seahawk on here? All right, I'm answering your question last. I'm just kidding. First time watching, you live from Seattle. Thanks for posting the Why Amazon video today. I will watch it. Awesome. Well, the Seahawk is my second choice. I just couldn't get myself to wear the jersey and all of that. Jacqueline says, I passed my first interview last week. I'm doing my second interviewed in 2 hours. Wow. Thanks for popping in to let us know. Holly, your coaching paid off. Well, fingers crossed for you. Please do stay in touch and let me know how it goes. Okay. Jadish, why does Amazon have 2 phone rounds before you go to the panel? That's a really good question. It hasn't always been that way. I've just heard that it's helping them save time for the final round because if you guys could kind of relate, there's a lot of people looking for work right now, and Amazon only have a handful of calibrated interviewer. What does that mean? That means Amazon only have a certain amount of people who's been at Amazon for XYZ amount of time, generally about 6+ months or so, and they have to go through a series of training of shadowing interview, reverse interview before they can interview you. So with that in mind, the phone interview will weed out the ones who's not truly qualified before inviting you for the loop where you're going to have 4 people instead of 5 people. Okay. In general, I think if you are an absolutely stellar candidate with the initial phone screen with the hiring managers or someone who's much higher level than you, I have seen that my VIP member have 1 phone screen and go straight to onsite. Okay. I'm not saying that is why is the case for you, Jadish specifically, but I have heard that from a lot of the team, that is how the process is right now. Raleigh. Hello, Raleigh. ASD, is it possible to find a job in California at Amazon, Google, etc. if I currently live in Europe? Well, that's a very easy answer for me. Right now, if anyone coming or going or leaving US for Europe or Europe coming in, anything that has to do with visa sponsorship like an H-1B, I'm going to say no at this moment, especially when US is going through a nationwide stay-at-home order, which is effective yesterday. So I'm going to say if I were you, I would focus on perfecting your interview technique and try to look at things within Europe for now. Wait for things to calm down a little bit with the immigration. I would simply just do research on the consulate and read about that. Okay. And Lou, thank you very much for putting a link of the Power of LinkedIn playlist, guys. If you missed that, that's about half an hour ago, and the link is right on the bottom. Thank you so much again, and Lou. Ashley, I've created almost 25 story. You actually need 15 to 20. 25 is a thumbs up for you. Each have been written so that they touch between 2 to 3 LP. Excellent. That identify for this role is touching 2 to 3 LP for a question, an attractive thing for interviewer. I have mentioned a lot on focusing on first, you need to know what the leadership principles are. And if you listen to your own recording, okay, if you listen to your own recording, you should be able to figure out because by now you know what LPs are, right? And you could write out what are those LP areas. If your story is answering a questions, a behavioral questions or whatever question you're trying to answer, 90% of the time, you're going to hit at least 70+% of the LP. Okay. And I talked about this in a lot of my stream. You have to take a look at my story example. And I talked a lot about what to focus on. So don't waste your effort in focusing on all over the places. Just focus on the meat. The meat is your story and your storytelling and knowing the LP and just writing it down, guys. Hi, Stacy. I love this. Stacy says, half a loop yesterday and it really felt great. You're the first person that mentioned feeling great. Best of luck to you. Fingers crossed. The Master K. I passed my interview. My recruiter can't find me a location. What? I said I'm willing to go anywhere. What do I do? Oh, no. This is really rare. Usually, when you interview for a position at Amazon, they already have a role with your name on it. So it's really rare. It's kind of rare. That means they are hiring like crazy right now, and they're trying to fill the position as quickly as possible before losing that headcount. Okay, I would follow up with my recruiter very often, like every single week. I would also reach out to the hiring managers and everyone that has interviewed you to stay on top of them, especially the hiring manager. Okay. This is a true story. I have two of my solution architects um, who both received an offer. No, who both received a verbal offer from Amazon and was put on hold for the entire month because those roles had been filled the time that they were going through approval for their offer. So what I've told them is the exact same thing that I'm coaching to you guys. You have to keep tapping them every few days. Now, because you have interview and because it went well and because they're ready to give you an offer, don't wait for the whole week. I would reach out to the recruiter every 2 business days. I would reach out to the hiring managers weekly and do not miss a beat. And you have to keep on top of them on LinkedIn and leverage every single person you know who's already at Amazon to reach out to that hiring manager and recruiter as well. Okay. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that networking is a critical and crucial part of you landing a job offer with any company, especially at Amazon because they're moving fast. They do have a lot of positions. Don't worry, it's there. But sometimes I'm saying this with experience. You may feel that we have been connected if I was your recruiter for just 2 weeks ago, but what I would feel is probably about 5 months ago. I'm sorry, not 5 months, like a lot sooner, like yesterday, because I'm going through so many emails and so many phone calls and all that, it will lose sidetrack of things. Okay. So don't be afraid to reach out to them and stay connected. Sanjay. Hello, Sanjay. Welcome. Bear in a While says, how many stories do you really need? I would like to leave this question to all of you guys to jump in. I feel like I've talked about this in every single live stream. I want to see if one of you guys can jump in and help a friend Bear in the Wild here. Hello, R. I wanted to say, Stacy. Stacy feels very confident after her interview. Stacy says, thank you for all of this great material. I do not want to get overconfident. I was one of the 2 at Apple. Did not get the role. It went internal. Keeping positive for Amazon decisions. Thank you for the kind word and for working hard. Rashika, customers, of course. I just went to a brain freeze. CS means customer service, of course. Silly Lily, how are you, Silly Lily? Oh, you got an offer. Wait, did I read this right? I attended the interview. Oh, did not get the offer. I had prepared with all the star example for most of the leadership principle, but not came up with my first phone interview. Sorry to hear that. If you look back, Silly Lily, you could kind of figure out, and that's for everyone else as well, what part of the type of questions that you felt you could have done better. And let us know in the comment below, Silly Lily, how long did you prepare for your interview? And I mentioned this to everyone who had reached out to me on LinkedIn, by the way. You know who you are. I'm going to say 99.9% of all of you guys on here have all reached out to me on LinkedIn. If you are going to wait to hire a coach or work with someone like me until you meet the final round, this is a perfect example. You're not going to make it to the final round, because if you are truly struggling with storytelling and not able to articulate yourself and haven't had the time to record yourself and prep and do every single thing I have laid out very beautifully, by the way, for you guys, then you probably will need a little bit more guidance in either my group coaching, because my private coaching are fully booked at the moment. Okay? And Obey Me Now. Thank you so much for the super chat. Obey Me Now. I know it is a bummer, but sometimes when we don't get the position that we want, it's not a bad thing. It could be both ways, right? It could be, what did we miss when we're prepping for the interview? And if we tell ourselves that we've done everything that we can and we still didn't get the job, well, maybe the role is not the right role for you. And we can always look at where else can you fit within the organization or our dream company. And what I could really share with you all is, if you take a look at your background and just kind of look at the different positions that you would be qualified at, if you look at the job description, do take the time to read through all of them. And I would actually pick and generate ideas, right? For instance, if you are a technical program managers, and I get this so many with a lot of my customers, if you are a technical program managers and you're only interviewing for program manager, maybe you're a product manager or product technical program managers. Maybe you are a technical account manager. You see where I'm going? There's a lot of way to move around it and not just be so focused on one type of role. I'm not saying that is the case, but that is something to consider about. Okay. Hi, Joels. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Hungry for Employment says, I have an upcoming interview with Google and Facebook for product manager. What can I expect during the interview? I would say if you have at least 15 plus stories and you're able to answer them perfectly, and I know for a fact that Google, I literally talk about Google like yesterday, last week. Okay, watch that, the restream. I've actually interviewed, this is very exciting, guys. I've interviewed a former ex engineering leader, hiring manager at Google. This person is also a product leader at Amazon. That video is going to come out in the next 2 weeks or so. So you could really see a difference between the two for the hiring team perspective. But as a recruiting leader and a recruiter for both of these companies, it is a little bit different because Google is truly looking for smart answers, starting with your academia, your ability to communicate and articulate perfectly. Everything almost of needing to be very perfect. Google love to have conversations, okay? So the more story you have using the leadership principle, of course, you can absolutely go a full minute. Google likes to evaluate you for culture fit just as equally as important as your fundamental, which is product management skill. They are still asking the type of situational questions such as how many windows are in cars in Seattle? That's an example, right? Versus Amazon, it's all about how quickly you're able to get ramp up and are you able to be productive, period. Charles, I was interviewed by Amazon last week. Keep us posted. Oh, hi Robert. Oh, thanks for being here. Rob and I have known each other for 20 plus years, guys, and he's been my life for a very, very long time. Thanks for supporting me. 49ers, yay! Woo-hoo! I probably get 2 thumbs down for wearing my San Francisco swag. I've never gotten 2 thumbs down in a live stream before. You know what, guys? It's all good. I'm cold and I love my team, and that's that. Sabina, thank you so much for your video. It helped me with getting promoted. Awesome. If you could share with us, Sabina, what part of the video had helped you in passing your internal promotion and kind of share it with the community, that would be amazing. Okay. Androla, what can I expect from an online assessment? You need to take a look at my online assessment video that I had out that I put out about 2 weeks ago. I talked a little bit about that. I can't really tell you what to expect because a lot of this is based on you being a culture fit, either you being a culture fit and have the relevant experience. And that is something where I can't really tell you what is in the assessment. I would have to physically take the assessment myself to give you that feedback, Androla. But I can guarantee you can find a lot of the information, especially for vendor manager or vendor management on Glassdoor. Okay. John says, my role over the past 10 years have been a subject matter expert as an IT manager, health and architectural project, data sciences on telecom project. Owner for about 3 years. Best role should I apply for? Well, John, thank you, by the way, for sharing all of that. I can't really recommend any role for you without looking at your resume or credential because an IT manager for someone like me coming from a tech background doesn't really mean a lot. For instance, I'm not sure if you're more software even with software, there's so many gray area. Are you infrastructure? Can you still code or did you have that background? When you say data scientist, that's a whole can of worm. What kind of scientist? Because scientist is so broad. Okay. So I won't be able to tell you what position is best for you without knowing anything about you at all. My advice for you is if you do a quick search and look at the JD, which is job description, it's going to open up some idea for you. And we can talk about branding in the next show. Okay? Hungry for employment. Don't give up, everyone. If you don't make it through the Amazon interview process, you need to really spend a moment to perfection where in those areas you think you could have performed better. If you truly don't have any experience at all, guys, I believe you do. Because if you don't have any experience at all, the recruiter won't be reaching out to you and you won't be having your phone interview with the hiring manager, right? So your credential and your presentation with the recruiter must have went really well. So what I'm thinking here is possibly looking at, just think back, just pause for a second. I know it's very demotivating. I know the holidays are coming up. You would love to land a gig and, make your children's proud, your husbands and wife and all. I get it. I know how it feels. Or make yourself proud, okay? Just trust me, guys. You have to really spend the hard work and time to master in preparing for your interview. It's not just an art, but it is a skill. It's a unique skill. Okay? There are so many content creators out there all over YouTube. And I would even encourage you guys to look at all of them and don't just look at my content, right? Because everyone's style is very, very different. And you need to take all of them, mold them around what will work for you. Okay. Like, for example, for those who did not land a job at Amazon, let me just ask you one question. Just one. Tell me about a time that you were able to see your customers that are really unhappy with how things are going. What did you do in the back end without even having a conversation with your customers to dive deep into the data and fix the problem in creating something that would generate their number XYZ percentage of efficiency? Basically, how did you solve the problem with no data at all? Okay, this is your customers. How are you able to do that? It doesn't matter if you are a data scientist, if you are a program manager, a product manager, a solution architect. It doesn't matter what position you are. Tell me a time when you're able to solve your number one loudest customer's pain point with no data at all, no info. How are you able to execute and turn this customer around? Okay? If you guys are looking at me with a big eye and you can't answer me right away at this very moment, then you're not ready to interview at a place like Amazon because they're very specific. And after you have given them your answer, they will dive very deep to make sure that you truly have the experiences. Okay? Steen says, how do you improve your chances of getting an interview when Amazon refer you for a job rather than you applying directly? There's really no, how should I answer? That's a really good question, Steen. There are really no right or wrong answer. Even internal referral, it's all about how well you prep. Okay, this is going back to everything that I just talked about. It's how well you prep and how well you know yourself. And I just threw a question to you and how you're able to demonstrate customer service with no data and how you're able to take ownership in thinking big and diving deep while delivering results for your customers. I just asked you that question. So the way how you answer it, referral or not, internal transfer or not, you still have to have a great story to tell. And for sure, no problem, my friend. I will be here for you twice a week, every single week, and I'll make sure to answer all of your question. Okay? I'm going to pick up. Where's my coffee? I'm going to pick on someone that I haven't had the opportunity to help yet, okay? Talon says, Talon says, I had many stories prepared with connections to LPs. Unfortunately, the manager got held. Only time for 3 questions. It was extremely rushed. Manager said it was a great story. I was a great storyteller. Um, awesome. It sounded like you did pretty well. Florida dude. Florida dude says, thank you for all you do. Got my phone screen tomorrow. Senior Customer Solutions Manager at AWS. Watching a couple more of your video and role playing. Excellent. I love the role playing. If you have a trusted friend or someone, preferably with some level of industry experience to role play with you, that's phenomenal. I would advise as you're role playing, why not record it on Zoom so you can see yourself if you're looking at the camera? Best of luck to you. Let me know how it goes. Stacy, thank you very much. Stacy says, best advice. I can't remember what advice I've given you, but thank you very much. ASD, I have not answered your question. Talking about finding a job in California, coming from European again. Ignoring the current COVID situation in general, how different it is for me to find a job compared to a local person. Um, well, prior to COVID-19 and having a background at Amazon, Amazon is extremely famous for hiring international. In fact, funny that you asked, ASD. I was an international recruiter and a recruiting leader for Amazon. What that means is that I literally train a team of calibrated interviewer and a program, and all we do is travel around the entire world, like all of Europe, South America, to bring folks, moving them into Seattle or different part of the US. So very common and very easy as long as you are a fit. And the way how you're being evaluated, it's just the same thing as how Amazon would for local candidates. So it really doesn't matter where you are from. They're more evaluating on your skill and if you could do the job. Okay. Anjum, that's a very good question. Is there a video preparing for a good branding pitch? Branding pitch, are you talking about more like tell me about yourself? I have a video called, I have a lot of video. It is called, one of them is called Getting Hired. The video is called Getting Hired. I talked about branding yourself so you are going to get a hire with the right role and level. I could, however, make a branding video, but the problem is when I make videos like that, no one really watches it. And it takes about the entire week to record, edit a video, and then publish a video that not a whole lot of people are going to watch. That's why I haven't done it. Okay. But I do plan on doing a branding review on LinkedIn profile and also resume that will be coming up. And all of my tutorial is going to be on the Friday stream. Okay. Serge, as a former military in French Navy as an Air Force controller, I've been contacted by a recruiter on LinkedIn. Well, Serge, just to let you know, I was able to help 8 professional with a military background, and they are all at Amazon right now as an area manager, ops, program managers, so on and so forth. Okay. So Amazon is definitely a big fan of veterans. In fact, they have the whole entire recruiting team focusing on that. Helen, what happens if you can't think of an answer, an example to a questions? Then if you really don't have an answer, then there's nothing that anyone else can do to help you. That's an honest answer. I'm sure you guys don't want me to make something up. I would simply just ask the interviewer, I would simply just share with the interviewer that you haven't done it or you haven't had the experience in this area, whatever the question is, but I have a different answer. Can I share this with you? Okay, so don't just cut it off. Do work on thinking very quickly on what other part of your credential you can share so that it doesn't make it look like you don't have any experience at all. Okay. 84 people are watching. Can a girl please get a thumbs up on this live chat? Let me know you guys are still with me. I'm going to I'm going to skim down very quickly with a couple more questions before letting you go. Okay. And I wanted to pick on those I have not answered yet. And which is Jonathan, how are you? Jonathan says, this is my second interview with AWS, but different position. Will the information from my previous phone interview and loop be applied to this role? Absolutely, because everybody have access to you. You guys all know that, right? It's not just an Amazon, it's any company, including startup. What an applicant tracking system, can't talk, applicant tracking system is, your information is being stored in there like it should be. Okay, so it's good for the recruiter and the hiring manager to read everything about you to see where you've done well and what are some of the areas that you may not have been, to see if you are the right fit. If you have interviewed more so recently or so, they may not be able to ask you for the exact same questions, but rather they wanted to focus on the type of questions that they know that you were lacking of. Okay. John, 2 more questions. I will ask John's questions and Sapalama, and we will call it a day. John says, I was able to pick up the phone and do a conversation with a customer to do a walkthrough on the issue and pinpoint out on some of the ways we could solve the situation. It was a product failing on customers' premises. We found out that the architect is with some bugs and we supported to solve it. If this is your example of star, John is missing a lot for me. I know the problem you're trying to solve, but you're using we a lot. I'm not sure what role you were, like what were you responsible for, and what did you actually have done? Okay. This is really good. Take a look at this icon here. This is pretty cool. Sapalama. That's a really cool nickname with the llama, for the Superman llama. I think I would love a emoji of me with the little wing in the back with the thing that says SF. Just kidding. Hi, Holly. Can you go into detail? This is the last question, okay? Can you go into detail on how Amazon would interview for internship? I have an interview as an area manager intern for summer 2021 and would love some advice as potential intern. First of all, let's be honest here. I have no experience whatsoever with intern and college. My experiences are relating to industry and leadership recruiting. What I can tell you is the everything I talk about regarding networking with the recruiter and hiring manager, it applies to all level. Okay, all level, all companies, and all role. The second thing is, if you're applying for a position directly at Amazon, I would highly encourage you to reach out to the campus recruiter as well, because their job is to find folks like you. They no longer attend the college physically to do recruiting events. At least that's what I was told. I'm pretty sure the process has changed. What does that look like right now? I really don't have any clue. I don't know. Can't help you there. My apologies. But I would also encourage you to do a lot of your homework, just simply putting it in the google.com browser, and I will guarantee you Glassdoor is going to pop up. Okay. So, guys, this is the final moment for you to continue giving me that amazing thumbs up. And for those of you who have not already, we really appreciate you to thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you won't miss my twice a week live stream. Until next time, really appreciate you for being here. Make sure that you guys take a moment to look at the playlist that I've just mentioned with examples and answers. Okay. See you on Friday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have a great week.